Numerous stories now proclaim that Donald Trump's team is absolutely terrified that he is going to get destroyed at tonight's debate. I believe it. And also we have to consider that these may be attempts to set expectations very low. Hey, Trump didn't fill his diaper. He's better than Kamala and more competent and more with it. We don't want to allow the expectations to get set so low that Trump being able to utter words that exist in the dictionary is able to be couched after being sane washed by the corporate media networks as a victory for Donald Trump. So let's consider some of these articles. Politico reports Trump's allies fear he'll blow the debate, his best chance to regain ground against Kamala Harris. The challenge is getting the former president to stick to the script. Now, what sort of off-script moments there might be, I have some thoughts on, and we'll talk about that in a moment. This article from Politico says that the debate is an opportunity some Republicans fear Trump could blow, especially if he gets personal with Kamala Harris. Prominent Republican officials and Trump's advisors have been urging him for weeks, keep the focus on her policy record. But Trump keeps signaling he's not interested in backing down on personal attacks. Newt Gingrich said, quote, I assume she'll come in very, very aggressive and she will try to bait him, getting very angry, and she'll be personal and try to demean him. I hope what he'll do is be a guy who's been a real president while she has been kind of a semi-vice president, and a guy who knows all the world leaders and a guy who has been through an enormous amount. Just be calm and steady and stick to the real differences. That is not a Trump that I've ever seen. So that sounds like it'll be difficult for him to do. Tricia McLaughlin, one of the Republican strategists that's worried, said, I pray that he can be disciplined. If Trump feels like he's backed into a corner and feels like it's 3-on-1, that could be a problem, referring, of course, not only to Kamala Harris, but also the debate moderators. The New Republic has an article. Team Trump is freaking out that he'll blow the debate with Harris. Donald Trump's team is nervous about the first presidential debate with Kamala Harris. So I believe all of these headlines. My hope is that when we have the media reporting on what happened at the debate, and I plan to release a video within a half hour of the debate ending, I will release a video with my thoughts and what I think are the critical moments of it. I hope they apply the same standard that they applied when Joe Biden didn't do well in the debate, but apply it to Trump. Think back to the June 27th debate between Biden and Trump. Biden didn't do well. I said it within 20 minutes. I had a video out that said Biden didn't do well here, and this is a problem. But the Biden performance sort of ran cover for the fact that Trump was barely coherent in that debate, lied 150 times or some outrageous number, once a minute, 2 or 3 times a minute, I think is what it came down to in terms of his speaking time. And the story of Trump's incoherence was essentially missing from the post-debate analysis. So I hope corporate media doesn't, Trump can go out there and just yell at Kamala and insult her, and it'll be framed as Trump was very animated and passionate or something like that. The other thing I think that is important to consider is whether part of what's going on is that these concerns from the Trump team are being deliberately leaked in order to lower expectations. And I think we have to be careful about that as well. Now, there is an interesting report from Vanity Fair, which is more specific about the concerns that Trump's advisors have. And they are that he will launch, quote, race-based, misogynistic, unhinged attacks on Kamala Harris. In other words, be himself. I think that it's extraordinarily likely that that is how it will play out. But here's the, sometimes we on the left, we imagine that the country or Republicans or MAGA will interpret something the same way we would. When we think, imagine if Trump launched a racially tinged misogynistic attack on Kamala, that would be terrible for him. It wouldn't necessarily be terrible for him. That's the thing you have to understand. Trump will likely do that. I don't think most of his followers care. Trump's base isn't going to say, wow, Trump brought up the thing about Kamala used to be Indian and now she's black. Now I'm not voting for him. No. And in fact, since Trump said that, he has gained back support. Trump said that at the NABJ several weeks ago. Trump's polling is better today than it was then. So let's be cautious, because to some degree, they are setting expectations. So when Trump is able to hold it together 5% better, they can say he did really well. It's a resounding victory. He's taken control back of this race. And they are setting it up to say, if he puts together a coherent sentence, he won the debate. That's one thing. The other part of this is expect that no matter how disastrous Trump's performance is, he could go out there and say to Kamala, you're a blank, right? Like the worst slurs that you can imagine. And we are going to have to explain to people why that's unbecoming of a presidential candidate. We can't assume that if he does that, that he is going to actually suffer electorally, because as he said famously, he could shoot people on Fifth Avenue or whatever, and it wouldn't even be a problem. So we will be watching closely. Let's not be swayed by the low expectations, and let's make sure that we're accurately reporting what it is that takes place. You know, in the past, every time I move to a new place or it's time to redecorate, the one thing I have no clue about is window treatments. What's the best color? What's the right type of blind? What about this weirdly shaped window? I don't know how to install them. And that's why I turn to 3-Day Blinds for blinds, shades, shutters, and drapery. Our sponsor, 3-Day Blinds, is the leading manufacturer of custom window treatments in the U.S., and my audience can buy one and get one 50% off. 3-Day Blinds has local, professionally trained design consultants who can come to your home, guide you on the right blinds for you. If you're not handy, no problem, because 3-Day Blinds will come to your house and install everything. And with over 45 years in business, 3-Day Blinds is the highest rated blinds company on Trustpilot. Right now, 3-Day Blinds is offering my audience buy one, get one 50% off on custom blinds, shades, shutters, and drapery, even smart motorized products. For a free, no charge, no obligation consultation, go to 3dayblinds.com/Pacman. The link is in the description.